So, hi, this is Lisbeth, and I am totally bruised around my lips, so I'm going to be off camera. I'm going to take myself off camera so you can only listen to my voice. I explained in the text in this email what happened to me, that I actually fell flat on my face when I was stumbling over my dog Wilma last week. So I'm not comfortable being on camera this week. So please excuse me for that. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a little bit of a lecture that we have in level 2, where our students are doing practical training with dogs, and also to help you be more aware of the living environment that you are providing for your dog. So in this little short lecture, I will talk you through a couple of key points: food and water bowls, the placement of them, the flooring that we have inside our houses, and bedding, just to give you some few tips and ideas so you can maybe provide even a better home living environment for your dog, or maybe already have a great environment. Whatever it is, we would love to see it. So I'll talk more about that in the end of this very mini lecture, very short lecture. So, like I said, I wanted to just give you some thoughts, food for thoughts, basically, to see if we can maybe even change some of the things that we already think is working well for our dogs, and make them a little bit better. These are things that I myself I wasn't aware of these things until I learned them myself. So that's why I want to pass on this tips for you too. So it's important that, first of all, obviously, your dog needs 24/7 access to fresh water, always. If you have more than one dog, I would put out more than one water bowl as well. Just, you can never really get enough water bowls inside and outside your home. So just make sure that you always have fresh water available for your dog. But have you thought about what kind of material the water bowls or the food bowls are in? Actually, they did a little bit of a study, not a very scientific one, but they did some questionnaires for a lot of dog owners, and they found out that actually most dogs prefer ceramic bowls, ceramic, so as in stone. So what kind of material is your food bowls and water bowls? Maybe you can try different ones. That would be very interesting, wouldn't it? To put a plastic one next to the ceramic or the stone, or the stainless steel one. And this is what I did with my dogs as well. And then I realized that my dogs preferred, first of all, when I had several dogs, they preferred different types of material. But then I saw that most of my dogs preferred one kind of material. So that's the one I chose to use for my dogs. Also, please make sure that your water and food bowls are on an anti-slippery surface for your dog's paws to stand on. Obviously, the water and the food bowl should be on a non-slippery surface, but also around it, so that your dog's legs doesn't slip when they are bending over to eat. You might want to raise your food and water bowl depending on the kind of dog or the size of the dog you have as well. And as for placement, I would always put definitely food. When my dogs get food, they get it in a place of the house where it's nice and quiet. Typically not in the kitchen, or definitely not in the hallway where there's a lot of people moving about. So make sure that you think about the placement. Also, where it's warm and cold in your house. Maybe you live in a warm country and it's not nice that the water bowl is standing in the warm sun all day. Same thing with food, obviously. So make sure that you get the best placement in terms of temperature and being able to eat in a stress-free environment. Then a non-slippery surface also for the dog to stand on when he's eating and drinking. And try out different materials for your food and water bowl to see what your dog prefers. Now, flooring is more important than I ever thought. When I first learned this from Julia Robertson at Gall Myotherapy, I realized that for too long I've had too few carpets. I had very slippery floors. And when I realized how bad that is for the dog's body and physical movements, I immediately went and bought some rugs, some cheap rugs. They look kind of okay, but you can get cheap rugs, obviously then anti-slippery rugs as well, so that the rugs isn't actually slippery on the slippery floor. And again, make sure to put these rugs where your dog is moving most of the time. You don't have to cover your floors in rugs necessarily or carpets. You can make nice pathways through your house with rugs. That's what I have done. I should have added some pictures here. Maybe I will in the Facebook group that I will tell you about later. So please make sure that your dog is living in an environment in his own home where he's not slipping on the floor, where he's not afraid of walking on the floor. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is bedding, because for dogs, just like with us humans, sleep is very important to our mental and physical health. If we don't get enough quality sleep, same thing is happening with dogs as with humans. We can actually get physically sick from it. It's very bad for you not to have quality sleep. And dogs' sleeping pattern is a bit different from humans, quite different actually. 60% of their sleep they do during the night and approximately 40 during the day. That means that during the night, it's very normal behavior for a dog to actually get up, walk around, and change the place where they want to sleep. So they could walk into a different room, they could change from a hot place to a cooler place, surface, maybe in the hallway. They could change from sleeping in a bed or in a sofa, a little bit up from the floor. Different places to sleep. This is very normal for dogs. That's their normal behavior. That is also why, one of the very good reasons why we should not put them in crates with the door closed, ever. Dogs are also social sleepers, so they need safety to sleep well, just like with us. We need to feel safe. You don't sleep well if you don't feel safe, right? So sleeping together with their family is what they prefer to do. Again, this is very individual, depending on the dog. Some dogs like to sleep next to each other or next to you, or some dogs prefer to sleep a little bit on their own. Again, this is very individual, and it could be different from one day to another. And they also change, like I said, by preferring cold, soft, warm, hard surfaces, and so on. So the important thing here is to give your dog a lot of choices where he or she can sleep. And I have some pictures here just to illustrate. I'm sure you all have lots of nice pictures of your dog sleeping. For some reason, we humans, we love to see those pictures. These are my bassets. That's how they like to sleep sometimes. Both of them in one bed, not a lot of space. But of course, they weren't sleeping like this for 8 hours. No, no. It was just for a little bit of time, and then they would change where they would go and sleep. Another picture of my own dogs. This is quite old. The Italian Greyhound loved to sleep next to the Basset for safety and warmth, which I can absolutely understand. Another Italian Greyhound, the same Basset actually. My Italian Greyhounds loved him. His name was Moses, the most wonderful dog ever. This is also a way to sleep, obviously, for some dogs, or even with the cat. If you're lucky that your dogs and cat like each other, that's also very good. Or even with me, this is my Wilma, my Basset Hound, when she was a puppy. They need, especially puppies, especially puppies. Do not put them away in their own room and close the door, or even in a crate and close the door. Please don't. They really need us there because they need that safety and the warmth and just being with us to feel safe. And then that's what I do. I have lots of, when I had lots of dogs, now I only have one, but when I had lots of dogs, I had lots of beds and different sleeping uh, options for them in different rooms and different types of beds. Some made of material, some of plastic, different kind. As well, here's some funny sleeping situations. And again, this is my Wilma. You don't have to make a bedding area expensive. This is actually two mattresses for children's beds. So they're very small and quite cheap. So I can change them after a little while. And again, this is my Wilma, another preferred sleeping arrangement for her. Or this one, which is one of the Italian greyhounds. So what I would love to do is to invite you to share pictures of your own home. What you don't have to share, the whole home or anything, but share pictures like I have shared here with you now. Show us different arrangement that you have in your house or your home for your dog. It could be the food bowls, it could be the bedding areas, it could be carpets. The reason why I would love to do that is so that we can all watch and learn from each other and get ideas from each other. I think this is so great. We have a very, very friendly and nice community in our free Facebook group, Back to Basics, Ethical Dog Training. And the link is here in the email. You can join the Facebook group for free. I will make a post inside that group today, Friday. So you can go to that post and in the comments, please put the pictures that you would like to share with us to inspire others and to show off your beautiful dog. I would love to hear from you there. Also, I hope that this short lecture was inspirational and that it can make you more aware of how you can create the best living areas for your dog. So enjoy looking at each other's pictures, get some inspiration, and I welcome you into our free Facebook group, Back to Basics. And have a very nice weekend, everyone. Bye.